at this point, under advice of counsel, I really can't go into details regarding that.
Remember that chaotic press conference? It was nearly a year ago that Spokane Regional Health District Administrator Amelia Clark announced that Dr. Bob Lutz had been ousted from his role as health officer. The circumstances of that ouster were dubious, even possibly illegal. And today, another development in this ongoing saga. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News First at 4. I'm Mark Hanrahan. Whitney and Tom are off today. For months, Bob Lutz has said that Administrator Amelia Clark broke the law by firing him, something that can only be done by a public vote of the health board. Clark has claimed that she merely asked him to resign. A preliminary state investigation, though, sided more with Lutz in its findings, and a new leaked email published by the Inlander shows that SRHD's own lawyer told board members Clark had fired Lutz. Well, today the board responded to that leak. Joining us to break it down, Casey Decker. Casey, how'd the board respond today?
Well, Mark, simply put, in the face of even more evidence to the contrary, the board doubled down on its claims that Clark did not actually illegally fire Lutz. Now, to be clear, not all the board members were in favor of making this statement. Brian Beggs voted against issuing it, and Betsy Wilkerson abstained. But there's really no way around this. This latest statement not only frequently omits important context, it sometimes makes claims that are outright false. Let's break some of them down now. The letter begins by asserting that the email you mentioned, Mark, was attorney-client privileged. In that email, according to the Inlander article, board lawyer Michelle Fossum told board members, quote, "Please be advised that Amelia has terminated Dr. Lutz's employment." The subject line was simply the phrase attorney-client privilege. However, many, if not most, interpretations of what the actual definition of attorney-client privilege is are not so broad. In other words, not all communication between lawyers and their clients is automatically privileged. Many argue that communication has to be either seeking or providing actual legal advice in order to count. And whether or not this email falls into that category, well, that can be pretty easily disputed. All right, another claim made in this new statement refers to the meeting back in last October, the one during which Lutz says he was fired and Clark says she merely asked for his resignation. The statement reads, quote, "It is clear from Dr. Lutz himself, Dr. Clark, and then board chair Ben Wick, who have the same recollection, he was not terminated on Thursday, October 29th. This statement is patently false. Lutz has made numerous statements indicating he was clearly under the impression that Clark had fired him. For instance, he told state investigators that Clark told him, quote, "You're terminated effective immediately," and that she demanded he hand over SRHD issued items. Now, those are just two of the dubious claims made in this latest statement. We fact-checked and added context to several more on our website. To read that article, you can text SRHD to 509-448-2000 and we'll text you a link. Now, you might also be wondering what the next steps are here, how all this might finally get resolved. Well, after that initial investigation, the State Board of Health decided it would have a hearing. At that hearing, they'll formally review the findings and then decide whether to take action, which could potentially include removing Clark from her role. But that hearing may not happen until late this fall. For now in the newsroom, Casey Decker, KREM 2 News.